6 years ago, my passions unexpectedly collided into a wonderful work of art that I never saw coming. Legends of the Staff of Musique was born out of a need that I saw for an accessible way to bring music education into the home in a way that was enjoyable for both the child and the caregiver, and carried out through lessons that were easily understood by the musical novice, but also interesting for the seasoned musician. What began as an attempt to bring together some of the holistic learning methods I had grown to love quickly grew into much, much more. I realized very early on that this was an opportunity to provide connection for the wee folk and their grown folk, but also healing for the grown-ups who had spent much of their lives believing that they couldn't sing or were simply incapable of exploring music alongside their child. Somewhere along the line, we have altered this magic of music making and made it a performance art rather than the truth of it being a form of connection. Music expresses everything we feel and experience, and even that which we cannot understand. No one, and I mean no one, should ever feel that they cannot be a part of that experience. Hi, my name is Crystal Hosea, and I author the home music curriculum and book series, Legends of the Staff of Musique. Inclusivity and accessibility has always been a core motivator of this work of art of mine, so you may be wondering, what does all of this have to do with an audiobook? Well, all of the lessons are based on an original book series. The musical ideas are hidden in the storylines in a way that is not necessarily obvious until they are revealed in the lessons. Until then, the books are simply magical stories to be enjoyed. I happen to know and love quite a few people who process the written word with the challenge of dyslexia. Audiobooks are an incredible tool for relieving the pressure and stigma and simply allowing the listener to enjoy a good story. And many studies have shown that the very same areas in the brain light up when listening to a story as when reading it. Inspired to reach the people who could benefit, I set out to commission an audiobook recording of the first novella, The Kingdom of Solfeggio. I was funding this endeavor all by myself, so I scrimped and saved and put aside what I could to hopefully fund the endeavor. Nina, Benny, and Nick all agreed to a fee that I still to this day find hard to believe. What I could afford to pay them was next to nothing, but they all saw something in this work of art and agreed to come on board. When I heard the final result, I sat and wept. If you know me well, you know that I am not being dramatic. I am not shy about allowing my feelings to flow out through tears, and I was so overwhelmed by how very, very wonderful the recording was. When in 2022, Jesse and I released the next novella in the series, King Ritmo and the Realm of Ta, I knew that I wanted to again make this new work of art accessible and enjoyable via an audiobook. Nina, Benny, and Nick have all agreed to team up again, but this time, I want to make sure they are truly compensated for the exquisite quality of their work. It's just little old me making the wheels turn on this labor of love, so meeting that financial goal is unattainable on my own. But I have an incredible village around me, so I am hoping that with your contribution, we can make sure that the artistic team bringing King Ritmo and the Realm of Ta into the world are shown just how much we appreciate them. Why commit to memory when you can learn by heart?